This is Sara Sharif doing what she loved most, according to her teacher.
That really is what everyone remembers about Sara, is just the constant song, constant singing, constant dancing. We'll always remember her as that really confident, very smiley, full of energy and life little girl. She was an absolute chatterbox. She was called often a mother hen. She would love to look after all the little children on the playground.
But who was looking after 10-year-old Sara, killed by the people meant to protect and love her the most? Today, Sara's father, Irfan Sharif, a cab driver from Pakistan, and her stepmother, Bainash Batul, were found guilty of the child's murder. Sara's uncle, Faisal Malik, was found guilty of allowing it to happen.
Sara's young life was brought to an end as a result of the brutal abuse and unspeakable violence inflicted on her by Sharif, Batul, which Malik did nothing to prevent.
Police!
This is the family home in Surrey where Sara's body was found. She had lived here with her parents and uncle.
Hello, anyone in?
The police arrived shortly after receiving a phone call from her father in the early hours of August 10th, 2023. The back door had been left open, but there was no sign of life.
Police, hello?
Sara's body was on a bed in one of the bedrooms. The house itself was pretty sparsely decorated. So some of the rooms had been cleaned prior to leaving. We definitely found trace of domestic bleach being used.
Alongside Sara's body was a handwritten note from Irfan Sharif. In it, Sara's father wrote that his intention had not been to kill her.
Sorry, police, how can I help?
A claim he repeated in the phone confession, alerting the police to Sara's body.
I beat her up. It wasn't my intention to kill her, but I beat her up too much. Actually, she was naughty over the last 3-4 weeks, and I was giving her punishment that to sort her out.
Irfan Sharif had beaten his 10-year-old daughter with a metallic rod and a cricket bat. The court had heard that her body had over 70 external injuries.
These must be the worst injuries that I have come across. The number of them, the nature of them, and the suffering is like nothing I've seen before.
After Sara's murder, her family flew from Heathrow to Pakistan.
There are a couple of things I would like to address.
Once abroad, Irfan Sharif and his wife Bainash Batul released this public video.
Sara's death was an incident. We are willing to cooperate with the UK authorities and fight our case in court.
Yes. Pressure in Pakistan led the suspects back to England in September 2023. At Gatwick Airport, the police were waiting, and Faisal Malik, Bainash Batul and Irfan Sharif were all charged.
You are therefore arrested for murder of Sara Sharif.
Hard to put into words, actually. I don't think I've ever felt such sadness. And I think I say that on behalf of all the staff and the community. I think the shock was just immense.
This trial has heard simply awful details about the abuse that Sara Sharif suffered by both Irfan Sharif, her father, and stepmother Bainash Batul. Now, whilst Irfan Sharif consistently changed his story on the stand, Bainash Batul opted to remain silent. Instead, she was presented as vulnerable when she met Irfan Sharif, a man with a history of abuse who was 13 years her senior. Her lawyers said that she was a victim and not a perpetrator, and confided in her sisters about Irfan's abuse. On the 8th of May 2021, Bainash told her sisters over text, "I'm kind of having a panic attack. He's literally going to break her arm or leg. I have no idea what to do. I'm in the other room. He's locked us out. He's not opening the door." The next day she wrote, Irfan had beat the crap out of Sara. She's covered in bruises, literally beaten black. The court heard that Bainash Batul had met with a lawyer in 2022 and wanted a court order against Irfan Sharif to protect the children. But the police said Bainash Batul was complicit.
Who did that to Sara?
No comment.
Do you love Sara?
No comment.
Did you care about her at all?
No comment.
The prosecution argued that Sara's stepmother was part of the murder, had been part of the escape plan, and that neighbours had heard her verbally abuse the children. Today the jury found that Bainash Batul was just as guilty as her husband. This is where Sara Sharif lived a painful existence and where the police arrived to find her body burned, bitten, bruised and with multiple broken bones. Now Irfan Sharif accepted responsibility for beating Sara, but the bite marks found on her body did not match Irfan Sharif or his brother, and Bainash Batul refused to provide her dental impressions. But we now know Sara's death was not just a stroke of evil, but of institutional failings. Were the family previously known to police?
So there were no other police records of involvement with the family prior to Sara's death.
But Irfan Sharif was known to police.
Hold on to him, Allah.
Long before his conviction for Sara's murder, Sharif was accused of domestic violence and coercive control by multiple women. After Sara's school discovered bruising, Irfan Sharif removed her to be homeschooled away from the protection of teachers. And despite the school reporting their concerns to social services, Sara remained in Irfan's care.
A child who is raising safety concerns in the school because of physical markings or behaviours should not be allowed to be educated at home. And of course there were other failings. What on earth is going on there? I mean, it seems to me that the data sharing around Sara, who was before her birth a child at risk and known to services, how it came to be that social care didn't have the data and close the case is absolutely a major failing.
The Sharif family were known to social services. Sara had previously been subject to a child protection plan and care proceedings, and Irfan Sharif had previously been ordered to undertake a workshop for domestic violence perpetrators. Yet, when new evidence emerged of bruising on Sara, she remained in Irfan's care. The question is, why? Yet so far, Surrey County Council have declined the opportunity to do an on-camera interview. Surrey County Council say a safeguarding review would now begin, and that we are resolute in our commitment to protecting children, and we are determined to play a full and active part in the forthcoming review, alongside partner agencies, to thoroughly understand the wider circumstances surrounding Sara's tragic death. In the playground of Sara's old school, there is a missing voice.
Sara absolutely loves singing and dancing, and one of the memories that will always stay with me is when she came. One Christmas she wrote a song, and her and her little friend had written lyrics, and so she came to my office. Mrs. Chambers, we've written a song, we want to share it with you. And I remember saying to her, Sara, what do you want to do when you grow up? And she said to me, I want to sing. She said, I'm going to be on X Factor.
Sara never got to fulfill that dream. A serious case review is now underway to understand why. Now the world will never hear this child sing again.